What? What is this?
Hey guys, so like after turning into a giant demon monster and all the stuff going wrong with Luis, I was having a real crisis of faith. So in the middle of my it's not a midlife crisis, my young life crisis, I guess, I thought, you know what? I should get some contacts and dye my hair.
What's happened?
Thou hast done well to guide him this far.
This voice. I'm sure I've heard it before.
Thy mind should now be clearing. Remember now thy true charge.
What a good time to get rid of the amnesia. It served its plot convenience.
He was never a member of the Resistance. The mission, the departure, was thine alone. And thereafter didst thou encounter him.
Who are you? Wait, what am I saying?
In those long ago days, he had just been born into this land. Newborn in form, if not in appearance. The boy needed a guide. Thus, I decided his memories would be thine. Thou wouldst share past and purpose. A memory so crafted to suit thee. My journey to the capital would not be made alone, but alongside him.
No, that can't be. He was there when we got our orders.
I never thought I would have to ask this of you. But there are so few of us left now. There is no one else to turn to.
Those memories were photoshopped, Gallica! It was all done by AI art!
Will you infiltrate the military to deliver a message to our contact there? This is your mission. For all our sakes, you cannot fail.
No! But... I was alone?
By this choice, he might be saved. By these gentle, necessary lies, we could live to see this day, when our dearest wish is fulfilled. As he traveled alongside thee, he gained both strength and wisdom. It is only by thy efforts that my voice reached him. He has now been saved, and so the journey ends here. Thou hast fulfilled thy mission admirably.
What? Wait just a minute. What do you mean, it ends here?
The magical voice drops a lightning bolt and kills Gallica on the spot.
From here on, thy path is thy own. Choose thy own future for thyself, and may the fates smile on thy journey.
Please choose a future where you give me access to the last 2 levels of the wizard.
How do we make sense of this?
I gotta say, the new look is not bad, but it's worse than the previous look. The heterochromia eyes, I can speak, and blue hair, mostly the blue hair. The blue hair is way better. Like, it's like, what is this? Is like a very light cyan, almost silver hair? It matches my shirt too much. There needs to be more contrast between my hair and my jacket.
Is it really you? How do you feel?
I just like ate the prince, bro. I feel lighter.
I feel a bit lighter.
Oh, is your voice slightly different now as well? It looks better in the portrait. The hair. The hair is more silver in the portrait. The character model, the hair is like, it's a little too dull. You know what I mean?
There seems to be no doubt. He is still himself, but I also sense His Highness within him.
Everyone? I need to tell you something. The truth is.
Dude, I can never get over that Nuris is just wearing shorts and sandals. Look at him. He looks so out of place in his outfit.
So let me get this straight. You're saying it's not a matter of our captain and his highness joining together, but that the former was this disembodied entity sprung from the latter?
Literally, I was his imaginary friend all along.
Then, that's why he had no memories? 'Cause he didn't even exist?
I see. Finally, I understand the strange feeling I had sensed upon our meeting. What shaped you, so to speak, was the prince's will itself. A part of his consciousness. Yes, the prince's very heart. He was his soul given flesh. Perhaps the form we knew was one shaped by material magla, much like how the dragon god manifests beyond the vessel Drakadios.
A mass of magla with a will. Forget the dragon god. He may as well have been a dragon himself. Small wonder he awakened to an archetype before anyone else. It was no great aptitude for magic. He himself was composed of pure magla.
Chat, I am canonically built different.
The self, as a manifestation of one's desires. Similar to archetypes. I suppose this is the very essence of magic.
What do you guys think Zorba is doing right now?
You mean to say that it was not merely pretense to claim the prince's name? He truly was His Highness all along?
If that's true, this is finally your reunion with your sworn liege. Seems like cause for rejoicing, eh? Lady Hulkenberg of the Royal Guard.
But I failed to protect His Highness.
No. I am sure the strength of your devotion had a hand in saving him.
While all and sundry believed the lad had shuffled off, you alone kept the faith, milady. And in the end, that faith was rewarded.
Fate was changed.
Are you really His Royal Highness the Prince? Please, please forgive me, Your Highness. I failed you when you needed me most.
Imagine I just say no.
And more, despite being a member of your royal guard, I did not recognize Your Highness at our meeting and showed you such insolence.
I pronounce your sentence.
Then I hereby pronounce your sentence.
Give the poor knight a break, will you? You've been by her side all this time. You of all people know how much she's gone through for you.
This time, I will protect you. Even should it cost me my very life. I swear to it.
Finally, we've done Grius proud. We've really done it.
By the way, what are we supposed to call you now? I mean, how would you prefer to be addressed, my lord?
Did the prince ever even have a name?
Captain. Same as always.
No, Your Highness! With all respect, I must object.
This is no time to be thick-headed, Miguel. He's the one who gets to decide what we bally call him, so we'll listen to him, eh? What?
How convenient that the gauntlet runner we technically stole from the prince actually belongs to me, right? That's why the teleporting magic worked for us, is because I, was the prince, and it was just meant to work for the prince.
You, sir, should be begging His Highness for forgiveness on bended knee. You mangled the royal runner to your own whimsy, you lout!
Well, that is. I mean, it was all dashed useful in the end, wasn't it? A bit of clemency, Your Highness.
I hereby pardon all of you from anything you've ever done. And also, I order the execution of Luis.
So much for acting same as always. It's beyond belief. Not just that a child who'd lain cold for years could come back to us, but through such extraordinary circumstances.
Dude, this is wild. I love it, honestly. This is really cool. A shame that Atlus had to fall back on the same old crutch of amnesia that they've always fallen back on, though. I don't even think that amnesia is necessarily, like, the worst thing to use as a plot device. It is very convenient, but, like, Atlus uses it in, like, every single game they make. Every game they make that has a really heavy focus on overarching story, at least. I'm trying to think. I don't think SMT5, like, had amnesia in it, but also SMT5, like, didn't even have a storyline. It more so had, like, an outline. So when they make a game that actually has, like, an overarching story, like Soul Hackers 2 and all of the Personas and now Metaphor, they're always like, listen, dude, we came up with this cool plot line, but it only works if at least one character has no memory of things that they should know about.
After so long in the curse's thrall, he could not even open his eyes. He may as well have been a corpse. But all this time, he had been on his own journey.
And now chat is even reminding me that Aogami, who I don't even remember who Aogami is that the protagonist name from SMT5? I don't even remember, because the story and characters in SMT5 didn't really matter. But even in SMT5, they also had a character with amnesia. They do it in almost every single game they make. I don't think they had amnesia in TMS, but maybe someone's gonna correct me on that. I don't know. But please, Atlus, please stop using this crutch in all of your storytelling.
It was the boy's dearest wish. He spoke of a fantasy of traveling the world, meeting its people, seeing its truths. And without him even knowing, magic made it real. He is a child of Elden blood and Elden legacy. All these years he spent in the village, he has rested near the secret of true magic. Perhaps this is how it came to be.
His was a fantasy surpassing fantasy. It became more than a dream, but a self-possessed force acting of its own volition. And now, reunited, Prince and fantasy live anew.
A journey to discover and reclaim the self, in all senses. No wonder he set off the custom igniter in the Royal Gauntlet Runner. It was the Crown Prince himself.
Even having it all explained like this, it feels like nothing short of a miracle.
I can only guess that fate had a hand in it.
That's right. I remember, I heard a voice. Guide him, it said.
A voice? Whose?
If you can't remember anything from before our journey, then we probably met after you'd only just... happened, right? I shouldn't have known you then. But for some reason, I was convinced that we'd always been together. I thought we both received the order to save the prince, too. Ever since the moment I heard that weird voice guiding me.
A voice? Lady Gruade mentioned a revelation. Hold on, are we still being mystic and metaphorical, or was there an actual guide involved?
I know someone was guiding me. I just don't know who.
So a disembodied voice. Hang on. Come to think of it, that sounds a bit familiar for me too.
Hey, who do you think the voice belongs to? Any idea?
It's gotta be the Queen of the Elda, right? There's like no other character that it could be.
I have a faint idea, but I'm not entirely sure.
Come to think of it, this place, the light coming in, they seem familiar.
I might say the same. When I first acquired this power, I had a vision of somewhere not unlike these grounds.
Does this mean that we've been guided as well?
Perhaps someone has been at your side unseen, watching over the course of your journey.
Me! It's me!
I imagine all this comes as a great shock for you as well. But here you are, back in your rightful place. You have come to the end of your arduous journey and found new life. It is a life well won, grasped with your own two hands.
Chiefess Gruide, we want to know everything. What is the truth behind your tribe, the Elda?
What is Zorba doing right now? You know Zorba is standing... I just imagine Zorba is right outside the door, or the cave entrance. He's pressed up against it right at the side, and he's holding a knife in his hand. Just like glancing around the corner like, come on, come around the corner so I can jump out and stab you, come on.
We Mustari are also said to have inherited truths of the world before us. Histories hushed by sanctism. But this village... it is something altogether different. I myself feel a strange familiarity here. A lost haven underground, yet letting of the sky's light. Please, tell us, what is the Elder tribe?
To know what we are, you must first know our history. Come to the altar room past the door. I'll wait for you there.
Kind of weird that they let me already go into that room and look at all the murals. Oh, well, man, that was a lot, wasn't it? How could this be? 'Tis truly a miracle. Lady Gruide mentioned she'd caught wind of some manner of revelation. Could this be the late queen's? All right, I'm not going to talk to every single NPC again.
Oh, it's you!
Beyond here lies the altar of secret history, the sanctuary which houses the true story of our people and world. Lady Gruide awaits you inside. And also, please kindly refrain from making any loud noises, lest you startle the fairies. All right. Give me the lore dump. I'm ready.
Does this depict the Elder tribe?
Elda comes from an ancient word, meaning only the old ones. It was an alias given by our ancestors to outsiders who visited the village in the distant past. As for our original name, you know it well by now. We were humans.
The human tribe. So Luis's words...
It just doesn't sound right when you say human tribe.
There is no human tribe. Tribes, as we know them today, did not exist then. We were all one people. Humankind.
A world united. But wait, the ruins on Virga Island, there's nothing left of the civilization today. Was it destroyed? Why? How?
A war. One that all but destroyed the world past. But its destruction was born of the discovery of Magla. Or as you call it today, magic. Do you wonder what they battled over? Without the divided tribes, what could they have disagreed on? They were racked by division. Over the abstract, undefinable idea of rightness. They tried to destroy something invisible, and destroyed only themselves. And any idea of absolute rightness is born of fear. That fear flooded the world, and gave way to war. And their age of prosperity came to be called the world before. The people we now call tribes were either born of artificial division for the sake of the war effort, or natural adaptation to survive the hellscape after.
Humanity was torn apart by fear and anxiety. Yeah, that sounds like us. Giving rise to the tribes as we know them.
Unbelievable. We've met plenty of people caught up in pointless conflicts. Given the choice, I know they'd rather live in a world without tribal division. And yet the truth is, that world's already fallen apart. More than that, it's how we all got here.
Such drastic physical changes would normally have taken eons to effect. Accelerated by Magla, however, it was only a matter of a scant few centuries. You understand now, yes. We, the Elda, are the survivors of the old world. Our ancestors fled the flames of war and thus escaped the ensuing divisions.
That means the prince, that is to say, I am a scion of both the old world and the new.
It beggars belief. Tis nothing short of astounding. But then, why do we know these monsters as humans?
By the war's end, both sides were consumed by fear. Their magical assaults escalated with each retaliation, until it was beyond all control. Our world became a hell.
And that's when Madara showed up, to gather all the tailed beasts and put an end to it.
Rampant magla distorts the body and mind. By now, I'm sure you know that better than you ever wished to. Humans are what remains of that branch of humankind that succumbed to melancholia. Broken, horrifying testaments to their own mistakes in the war of magic. Some persist, breed, and multiply as any beast does. Others live centuries of agony before their lives burn out. Even we do not know the full scope of their nature.
I'm really upset that this game just said the monstrous, horrific human creatures we've encountered are capable of breeding. Why would you speak that into this world?
Regardless, when the 8 tribes settled in this land, our claim to the human legacy was forgotten. To the people, the name only meant slavering, insane monsters. Therefore, we took on an alias instead. The same one by which we are known today. The Elda.
So, the old world couldn't control its magic, and... Wait. How does the Sanctus Church fit in? All this revisionist history to spread their magic igniters.
Indeed, what are magic igniters to you? Tools for the Church to shackle the people, perhaps? Or weapons that hide magic's true potential? Am I close to the mark? In truth, it's the opposite. Igniters are tools made to limit magic. Restraints made in self-discipline, meant to avert a repeat of history's destructive mistakes. The Sanctus Church of today is muddied by greed, but its faith was born of good intentions. They once urged self-control, and thus control of one's personal magic. At times, they preached we must close our eyes to the truth when it would only lead us to ruin. By this benign tenet, history was obscured, and the Elda denounced.
Have these idiots not learned that you must know the past, otherwise it's doomed to repeat itself, or whatever the saying is?
I had no idea. There's a grim irony in that.
His Majesty only hid his son's ancestry to protect him. Yet in the end, that meant Forden could attack the village under any pretext he liked, his motives concealed.
With all that said, you have now reclaimed your true form. The friends that stand with you are of different tribes and ideologies, but of one mind. As you are now, you may walk the path of the rightful king. The path of a modern world, where the tribes walk as individuals, yet with mutual respect and cooperation.
The sovereign's power, thou king to be, entrusted with the will of the people. To bear their hopes is to be their rock in the storm, and to face anxiety in their names.
Is that you, Mom?